my name is Janet Ceballos and I work for the Alzheimer's Association. I'm a social worker here and I specifically work in a program for the Latino community. One of the basic things that we do here at the not the basic thing, but one of the things that we do here at the association within our programs is help families cope with the disease when they're caring for someone who is experiencing Alzheimer's. And we provide education, support, and and a lot of materials for them to learn how to care for their loved one.
And I'm Maggie Sparks. I also work with Janet as a social worker here at the Alzheimer's Association. And like she said, we work directly with families who are caregiving for someone who is experiencing memory loss. And also we work with individuals who may be in the early stages of memory loss and are learning more about the disease and planning for the future and how to cope with the changes that they're experiencing. And we also have support groups to support family caregivers, their loved ones, spouses, children, and sometimes themselves. They can participate in a support group.
Alzheimer's disease is a progressive illness which affects people's everyday life. So you have people who start showing symptoms of memory loss, problems with their daily routines. They suddenly get confused and lost, and it mostly affects the brain. Definitely. I mean, you can see people suddenly having problems with remembering doctor's appointments or taking their medications. You know, if they're still working, they start missing problems at work or missing things at work. You know, you can suddenly see changes in their mood. That's one of the signs of the disease, that you see changes in the way they act or behave.
Also, it's mostly close friends and family members that are going to notice changes first, and because they know the person's personality the best and their routine. And so sometimes at the beginning of the disease, the person might notice changes in themselves but not technically take it seriously, and their spouse or their children will bring it up. Affecting their daily life. If the person's working, it can really affect their tasks at work every day and at home. Forgetting doctor's appointments, forgetting to eat meals is a big, having trouble finding the appropriate words when responding to someone. And so it starts off gradually. It might seem like when you have a bad day and you just can't remember things, and then it progresses to a point where someone isn't able to go to work. They may walk out of their house and forget where they're going.
And in addition to that, I think that when you talk about their daily life, you talk also about their relationships with their families. And because they're experiencing all these lapses in memory, you know, maybe wife tells husband, please buy me X, Y, and Z from the grocery store. Don't forget to bring home some milk. And husband comes back home with everything except what the wife specifically needed. So then you start seeing a lot of family problems because families start getting upset at the person with memory loss. They think that they're doing it on purpose, or, you know, he's always been like that, he ignores me when I talk. and suddenly all these little lapses start affecting that relationship. So that's a really big component of the disease. It not only affects the person who is suffering with this illness, but it also affects the family and friends, everybody that is around that person.
Alzheimer's?
Yeah, well, it's important when you're talking about Alzheimer's to realize that there's very little known about the disease still. There's still a lot of research being done, and so they're still trying to figure out a lot of that for treatments and causes. But there has been significant research that shows that people who experience high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes are at a higher risk of developing Alzheimer's later on. So also excessive alcohol use shows leading to dementia later on. And so there are things in your daily life that you can do now or not do now that can help. So eating a healthy diet, exercising, not abusing alcohol, using your brain, keeping up your social life, healthy lifestyles, basically.
And I think that it's important to define a little bit what Alzheimer's is in terms of what kind of illness it is. So when she said dementia, there's different types of dementia, and Alzheimer's is a type of dementia. And one way that we explain it to people to make it easy on them is dementia is a general term, as when we say flowers. And how many types of flowers do we know? Many different types. So Alzheimer's is one of those subtypes. So then you have Alzheimer's, you have vascular dementia, you have Pick's disease, and there's all these other illnesses that have that same those same symptoms, but are different types. So dementia is a general term which defines a person with memory loss, inability to do certain things on their own, be independent. So loss of abilities, that's the dementia part. And then there's a different types.